I'm Mark Hanrahan. Whitney is off today. Here are the three key things we learned from today's press conference. First, Idaho Governor Brad Little has provided $1 million in funding to support the investigation. Number two, police say they have so far gathered more than 100 individual pieces of evidence. And finally, more than 1,000 tips have been gathered and more than 150 interviews have been conducted thus far. Investigators are still working day and night as they try to figure out and find the person who killed the 4 students. 10 days in, there have been no arrests after the victims were found stabbed to death in their beds in an off-campus house. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is live in Moscow tonight with the very latest. Amanda?
Well, Idaho State Police say investigators have collected more than 100 pieces of evidence from this crime scene here where 4 University of Idaho students were found murdered. They've also conducted about 150 interviews. Now, while we didn't receive any critical updates from the Moscow Police Department today, Chief James Fry did say that this case remains a top priority.
We still believe there's more information to be gathered.
Authorities investigating the brutal stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students are asking the public for any tips and clues that might help bring a break in the case.
We ask anyone with any information related to what happened with these 4 who are in our community, their interaction with others, and whether they expressed concern or commented about someone or something strange to get that information to us.
Detectives are still searching for the weapon. It's believed that a fixed blade knife was used in the killings that shook this college town on November 13th. Combined, more than 40 investigators from the FBI, state police, and the Moscow Police Department are working the case. Detectives here in Moscow, Idaho, believe the 4 victims were targeted, and with no one in custody, police are advising everyone to remain cautious.
That is the type of vigilance that we're looking for in the community, being aware of your surroundings.
Investigators have looked extensively into information they received about victim Kaylee Gonsalves having a stalker. Authorities say so far they have not been able to verify or identify a stalker. Police say the victims appeared to have been stabbed multiple times and some had defense wounds. Meanwhile, a plan to provide a keychain alarm to women on the University of Idaho campus is in the works, thanks to a group of alumni who want students to feel safe. Now, police are aware of the man that Madison and Kaylee called several times. Tonight, investigators are saying they do not believe he was involved in the attack. Neither are those who made the 911 call. Reporting in Moscow, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you very much. It has been a week and a half since the murders, and while the search for the killer continues, we have learned a lot about this case thus far. So here's a timeline of the events up to this point. This all began last Sunday, November 13th, on day 1 when Moscow police responded to a house on King Road for a report of an unconscious person. There, they found 4 people dead inside. As police investigated, the University of Idaho issued a vandal alert for students to shelter in place because of a homicide investigation. It was later lifted and the school canceled Monday classes. On Monday, day 2, Moscow police identified the victims as Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Kaylee Gonsalves, and Madison Mogan. Police still did not say how or when they died. Tuesday marked day 3. That's when we learned police now believed an edged weapon like a knife was used in what they called an isolated and targeted attack. Students at U of I also returned back to class. On Wednesday, day 4, after days of near silence, Moscow police and the University of Idaho hosted their first press conference. Police confirmed the weapon used was a knife and it had not been recovered. They also said there was no suspect and they could not say there was no threat to the community. However, police still believed it was an isolated and targeted attack.
We're looking at everyone. Every tip we get, every lead we get, there's no one that we're not going to talk to. There's no one we're not going to interview. There's no one that we're not going to look into.
Day 5 was Thursday, and authorities released the autopsy report. According to the Latah County coroner, the manner of death was stabbing, making this a murder investigation. On Friday, day 6, Moscow police released a map and a timeline of the victims' last known whereabouts. The Latah County coroner stated all 4 victims were likely asleep, some with defensive wounds. Each were stabbed multiple times. Moscow police shared they did not believe the surviving roommates nor the man observed in the grub truck surveillance video were involved in the murders. On Saturday, day 7, Moscow police shared more details, including the fact that the 911 call came from inside the house on the cell phones of one of the surviving roommates. We also learned the victims were found on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the house. On days 8 and 9, Moscow police released an update on the murder investigation, adding clarification on some misinformation on social media. And right now, police held another press conference today addressing more rumors and laying out additional resources the state of Idaho is providing for the investigation. Meanwhile, 1 week from today, U of I will be holding a candlelight vigil for the 4 victims on the administration lawn on campus. It is scheduled to start at 5 p.m. There will be a remote option for those who cannot attend in person. The Dean of Students, Blaine Eccles, says they will determine a more precise location early next week. As soon as we know those details, we'll be sure to pass them along to you. Of course, this is a developing story. We will continue to bring you the latest just as soon as we learn it. In the meantime, for a look back at our coverage from the past week, head to KREM 2 Plus for an in-depth look at the investigation. You can download KREM 2 Plus right now for Roku and Amazon. And for instructions to do so, just text us KREM 2 to 509-448-2000 and we'll send a link directly to your phone. All right, switching gears now. Our other big story we're covering tonight is the winter-like weather conditions. Meteorologist Michelle Boss is in tonight. Michelle, of course, it's a big travel week, so what can drivers expect?
The good news is after yesterday's very messy weather, things have quieted down. So if you're doing any traveling this evening, other than the refreezing of what melted this afternoon, we're not expecting any additional precipitation and dry weather on the way for Thanksgiving as well. But a recap of how much snow we picked up in the last 24 hours, 1.6 inches officially at the Spokane airport. So La Nina continues to deliver with colder than average temperatures. And now we're up to 9 inches of snow for the month of November, and we average 6.2. But as you check out satellite and radar, all the snow is gone from the region right now. We've kind of got patches of clouds and clear skies out there. So folks that saw a little bit more sunshine got a little bit warmer in the middle and upper 30s. In places like Spokane, where we haven't really seen much sun, we kind of hovered with temperatures just above freezing. But most locations did see above freezing temperatures. Of course, we're going back below freezing overnight. Mostly cloudy skies and some patchy fog tomorrow. We'll look at partly sunny conditions for tomorrow. Highs in the middle and upper 30s. Dry weather for most of the day on Friday, but rain and snow return Friday night, and we could see more unsettled weather for your weekend travel on Saturday night into Sunday.
Maybe good conditions in the high country for skiing. Thank you, Michelle. Well, the cold, slick conditions come as thousands of people are hitting the road for holiday travel. Dozens of people waiting for their Greyhound bus at the Amtrak station downtown had to wait more than an hour. But Greyhound officials say it's not the weather causing delays. Rather, it's a bus driver shortage.
I've been waiting here for about 45 minutes. A little bit of a delay, not too bad though. Just chilling here. Really excited to see my family, all my friends. I have a lacrosse alumni game that I'm going to play in.
Many people say they decide to take buses and trains to travel because it's just cheaper than flying. There are limited options during the holiday season, though. For those that book in advance, a one-way Greyhound bus ticket from Spokane to Seattle starts at $34, and a one-way Amtrak ticket starts at $29. If you are expecting company or planning to visit Western Washington for Thanksgiving, today is one of the busiest days for car travel. WashDOT released their travel charts for Thanksgiving week. Expect heavy traffic this afternoon over Snoqualmie Pass today. And then, if you are returning to the inland Northwest this weekend, make sure to give yourself plenty of time. WashDOT is estimating heavy traffic in the afternoon for Friday and Saturday, but Sunday is predicted to be the worst for traffic congestion most of the day from 9 in the morning until 5 at night. All right, taking a live look at Snoqualmie Pass right now. It doesn't look too bad at this hour. The roads are back open after closures yesterday afternoon. There are currently no restrictions at this time, but there is compact snow and slush on the roads and weather expected to be cloudy all day. So I guess be prepared if you're heading over the pass. Well, if you're flying to your holiday destination, travel officials say expect long lines and delays. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez has the latest from the Spokane airport today.
So throughout the day, security lines here at the Spokane International Airport have not been all that bad compared to years past that we've seen. Early this morning, we talked to TSA. They said before 5 a.m. we did see a decent amount of line at this AB terminal, but they said they cleared out pretty quickly. Only took about 20 minutes to get through that line. The baggage claim areas were also a little bit busy early this morning, but we are really not seeing too much craziness. We know how Spokane International Airport works. We've got when flights come in, that line gets busier, and then as they leave, then it gets a little bit less busy. TSA though says that they're expecting this year's travel numbers to be close to, if not more than, pre-pandemic numbers.
So it's already going to have that feel of being very busy. And so whether we achieve the pre-pandemic volumes, we will have to see. But it's going to feel pre-pandemic because of how busy it will be around you for every step of the process.
Spokane International Airport actually tweeted out early this morning that the parking in both the garage and the outside lot are full. So passengers flying out today should definitely leave extra time to find parking and get to their terminal. So the busiest travel days around Thanksgiving are Tuesday and Wednesday, so today, and then this upcoming Sunday as people travel back home. Today, specifically here at Spokane International Airport, TSA is expecting to screen over 7,000 travelers, and they're expecting slightly more on Sunday. Thanksgiving Day itself will actually have the least number of travelers, with TSA expecting 4,500. Here's some tips from TSA to help get you through security. Number one, pack smart. Make sure there's no prohibited items in your bags. Empty your pockets before getting to the security checkpoint. Know what foods you can and cannot check, and use gift bags instead of wrapping paper. And the last tip from TSA is actually to download this My TSA app from the App Store, and it actually allows you to see estimated wait times depending on what time of day you're headed, based on previous historical data. And you can notice right there that little red marker there saying travel alert. Plan to get extra early to the airport just in case those holiday travel numbers affect wait times. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.